Good afternoon, ladies. Good evening, good afternoon. How are you ladies doing? It takes some time, Kavita, by the time, people come in. And since it is being streamed through another program, this kind of like restricts me to see who is online at the moment. I have to go back to Facebook and double check who is online. So someone will join me. Hi, ladies. Thank you. I can see one coming down. Hello. Three. Great. Thank you, ladies. How was your Wednesday? Hump day? The weeks come and go, days come and go. We had our beautiful and lovely Easter break, and it looked to be very, very short. I'm not sure how many Aussies agree for this one because I think we are, I'm not sure about our country. I'm not aware. I'm not 100% sure, but there you go. Great and blessed to be in this country. Hi, ladies. I not do that, or maybe I can actually. Thank you for joining in, ladies. Thank you so much. And today's program, I tell you, it's such a beautiful program. I can see myself. Ladies, whoever is online, I can see two people there. Can you tell me whether hi, hi. Give me a thumbs up and hear me. That's okay. Hello, Hema, says Lata Suresh. Thank you, Lata. Thank you for joining in. I've just lost frequency. So, yeah, but that's okay. Probably you might have. And log in again. By that time, we will start the program. Please Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining in. Welcome to Wholesome Wednesday session number 97. My goodness gracious. Time literally flies, isn't it? Did you all have a nice Easter break? I'll add Kavita in a minute. Thank you, ladies, for joining in. And I hope you all fresh up. We have holiday. We all look forward for a public holidays, isn't it? All right, let us start. Welcome to Wholesome Wednesday session number 97. Today it's all about sarees and dancing. Of course, it's a combination of a traditional dance, a little bit of classical and semi-classical, all kinds of like dance, Mrs Gounder. And I'm going to introduce to you ladies a little bit later. So let me start off with happy birthdays. Today's happy birthday is being shared by Bharathnatryam and Ashika Ravi Kumar. Ladies, wishing you both a very, very happy birthday. I'm sure there will be plenty of other ladies too celebrating, but these are the ones I was able to pick it up. So wishing you all a very happy birthday, and also wish the ladies who celebrated birthday from last week up until today. And I hope you all had a great time as well as a great birthday. Now, my usual one is, before going to the national days, I'll just shed some light on the sarees what both mom and I are wearing. It's a party wear saree. It's a synthetic saree. Mine is a crushed Georgette saree. It's kind of like, I don't know whether you can see the crushed nature of it. It's like, pleated kind of like saree. It's now in trend. So I just wanted to get one, and I got one. Mom got one. But it doesn't suit me at all. But anyway, I wanted it. Whilst mom is also wearing a similar one, but it's a satin, and she has draped it so well. Mom can stand up. I'll show you mine as well. See, she has draped it so neatly, and even I have done it, but it doesn't look the way it is meant to look. See? But anyway, it's kind of like, it's a mermaid kind of like, body shape, which comes into picture, which doesn't kind of like gel with my body shape. But anyway, that's aside. So I've just paired with, green tops and a crystal bracelet to match the saree. So this is a simple kind of like, styling I have done for today. And now coming to the national days, we have, today is the Chinese Language Day. It is celebrated today. It's more than 1 billion people speak Chinese as their first language, which is more than any population in the world. So if you are, wanting to give some hand to the language day as the Chinese Language Day, I'll just say hello in Chinese, which is nothing but ni hao. Hope I pronounced it correctly there. The next one is National Look-alike Day. How many of y'all have come across this? It seems so in the world, there are about 7 faces which look alike. And I very much doubt if you kind of like, bump into at least one in your lifetime. But I haven't, but I have heard people say about me saying, I have seen someone similar like you. So I don't know, I would love to meet that person. So if you come across a replica of yours, that's the way to celebrate. Or if you have any stories which you can share about it. Would love to know. And the next one is 420. 420 itself is like a national day. In in general terms, 420 is the code which police officers use to signal each other that marijuana smoking is taking place. So that was the signal they used to get. But anyway, this one is to celebrate that 420, which is basically promoting access to safe, legal, and natural cannabis products, as many Americans believe that cannabis products can contribute towards a better quality of life. Wow. It's their understanding, but anyway, it's not ours. The next one is Lima Bean Respect Day. How many of you love Lima beans? It's so nutritious and, very buttery in texture. So this is the day to celebrate Lima Bean Respect Day. And you can prepare something out of it, or you can enjoy anything like a curry or a soup out of it. And it seems it has got so many names, which I wasn't aware of. The names they are basically known as the butter beans, and also the wax bean, the shad bean, the Siewa bean, the double bean, Rangoon bean, Burma bean, and Madagascar bean. Wow, it has got so many names. So if you haven't cooked yet, maybe you can think about cooking a Lima bean curry. Today is National Banana Day as well. Can you believe that bananas are one of the oldest cultivated fruits in the world? So a variety of things you can make and eat, or just eat banana by itself. In Kannada, they say, Hasidu halasu tinnu, undu balehannu tinnu. It's actually bale tinnu. Oh, undu maavahanna. Balehanna. Balehanna. I thought it was balehannu. Sorry. My apologies. It's maavu. I've been corrected. I was so confident that it was balehannu. But anyway, in general, any meals, I'm not sure about North Indians, but especially coming from South, we always end up eating a banana after our main meals. So anyway, you can complete the sentence. Yes, you can eat banana as well. Okay. So the next one is National Cheddar Fries Day. It's all about stuffing your face with the best cheddar fries you can get on your hands. So if you're a cheddar cheese person, enjoy the day. The next one is the National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day, which encourages you to tingle your taste buds with this tropical delight. And it has been dubbed one of the most popular recipes of the 20th century. And there are dozens of other variations like the pineapple upside down cake. And you can also up it by adding a little bit of rum or brandy to give that kick. So you can do your variations. Anyway, that's what it is. And today's, I had difficulty getting Kavita. She was chatting to me, and all of a sudden she disappeared. Oh, Kavita, you're back.
I have always been here.
Oh, for some reason I couldn't see you.
That's okay.
Yeah. Great, Kavita. Yes, I can see you now. I don't know what happened there. I couldn't see you. Yes, I'll just make the screen bigger so that I can see you perfectly well. Beautiful. You've got a beautiful sari there, a checkered one. Looks like an Upara sari. Beautiful jewelry to match the sari. Absolutely beautiful. And what type of blouse do you have? I can't see your blouse. Oh, you've got like a 3/4 one with little frills.
A little bit of a frill, yes. Frill on
That's so trendy.
Just something different, I thought.
Yeah. And it's
which
perfect for the dance,
yes.
The sleeves, it's got that frilly thing. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Kavita is there on board with us. So let me introduce Kavita as well. And today it's all about art. Art is not what you see, but what others see. The dance is the mother of arts. Music and poetry exist in time, painting and architecture in space, but the dance lives at once in time and space. Dance is the hidden language of the soul. Following her own rhythm, we have tonight Mrs. Kavita Gounder from Sydney presenting a combination of Bharatnatyam and other dancing techniques, which is like semi-classical, classical, and a combination of cinematic, etc., which we can see her perform tonight. So Kavita Gounder is a consultant to the registered training organizations by profession and a dancer by choice. On top of this, she is a mom to 3 young sons. Kavita's love story with Bharatnatyam started at the tender age of 4 when her Appa, which is dad, put her under tutelage of late Mrs Indraani Pillay. She is grateful for this decision her parents took, as this instilled in her many attributes to tackle life, such as discipline, hard work, tenacity, flexibility, problem solving, and creativity. Her dance also played a huge part in her spirituality and mental well being. Though through her tough times. I completely agree with this, Kavita, because keeping our mental well-being, it could be in any form. You can read a book, you can dance to your heart's content, you can sing and dance and do various other things. You can go for a walk, it could be anything. So you chose to dance away, which is so beautiful. Kavita continues her learning under the tutelage of her dance guru's daughter, Miss Hema Pillay. And Kavita also teaches Bharatnatyam, semi-classical, and Bollywood dancing. She can be contacted via Facebook Messenger. So let us witness Kavita's dancing styles and joyously enjoy tonight's session. But before that, Kavita, I would like to talk about your guru, Mrs. Hema Pillay. It was just a few months ago. It was just immediately after COVID. I was with a group of friends attending, it was a concert, a musical concert, and we were all seated in a row. So next to me was just one seat. And I think Hema Pillai had come with her group of friends, and they were kind of like separated because the way the the seat numbers were arranged was they ended up kind of dividing it into left and right kind of zones. So it was ended up one seat, but instead of 2 seats. So Hema comes, she was pointed to sit right next to me, which was a vacant seat. So she comes and takes a seat right next to me. And then, I kind of try myself to introduce to the person right next to me. Then I told, hi, I'm Hema. And then she said, I'm Hema. No, my name is Hema. And she said, my name is Hema. Oh my God, it was like, what the Hemas? And it was so strange. I said, seriously? She said, yes, seriously. Oh my goodness. 2 Hemas together introducing each other. And it was such a thing, and then it was just a short frame of time we had, and then this concert started. And in the interval period, again, it was like another 5 minutes. And I told her, no, I have to take a picture, and, I have to tell that, Hema met Hema. So that's the background of your Guruji, and say hello to her too. It was a pleasure to meet her. And it was just a few months, I think probably September or October of last year, I think. So it was a pleasure to meet her in person. So Hema introducing Hema Pillay, Hema Pillay introducing Hema Shetty. So I'm sure it would be a great treat for all of us to watch you dance away. So off you go, Kavita. The platform is yours. So you can start off the session. So as you have mentioned, like, it was because of your dad, kind of like, asked you to join the dance, and you started like, learning, and you were passionate about. So I know you have mentioned that it has helped you throughout. So what else can you relate to? So when you kind of like, started dancing away, so were you kind of like having an image in your mind that it has to be the Bharatnatyam style, or it could be like, cinematic style, or it could be anything else?
Well, first of all, namaskaram to everyone. Namaste. Hello, all around the globe. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Do you just want to shift a little bit, Kavita? So that I can see you fully. You're being cut off. Yes.
Is that
Yes.
good?
Yeah, that's good.
So, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. As for your question, I don't remember ever making the initial decision. Like I said, my parents enrolled me into Bharatnatyam. So I'm of a Tamilian background. Both my parents are Tamilian. So I think Bharatnatyam was, the choice.
Choice.
Yes. And
Okay.
Mrs Indraani Pillay, I call her Indraani Amma. I've grown
Okay.
up with her.
Yeah.
So, um,
So this was all you learned in Fiji?
yes, so I started my training with her in Fiji,
Yeah.
and I actually left Fiji at a very young age. I finished my primary schooling, and then I came to Australia to do my high schooling.
Yeah.
So after a few years, Indrani Amma moved to Sydney as well, and
Right.
I started training with her again here.
Oh,
So whilst
lovely.
I did live in Queensland, I used to come and visit at least 3 or 4 times a year and try and get a week to 2 weeks with her, get my training done, and then I would perform and I would come and learn choreography of her. I'll discuss with her over the phone, and over the years, the natural transition from Indrani Amma to her daughter,
Yeah.
Hema Akka, I call her.
Oh, you call her
Like I said,
Hemaka?
I've grown
Nice.
up, yes,
Yeah.
Hema Pillay. So I've grown up in that family, and so it was natural. We have a story that we tell, and I love this story. When I was younger, and Hemaka was younger too.
Yeah.
I was a child, and she was
Uh-huh.
a young adult.
Uh-huh.
We used to perform as Krishna and Yashoda, and
Oh,
then yes, and one of the performances that we used to do. And then as I've grown up now
yeah. Who
I
was Krishna and
well,
who was Yashoda?
I was Krishna. I was, little Krishna. I was,
Okay.
Bal Gopala. Yeah,
Yeah.
little Krishna.
Uh-huh.
And she was Yashoda, the mom. And
Yeah.
as I've grown up now, I stand taller than Hemaka. And now I play, now I play Big Krishna, and she
Yeah.
plays Radha.
Oh, seriously?
So yes,
Wow. Maybe I should
so
get
even
her.
the same song we re-choreographed the same song to from Yashoda Krishna to Radha Krishna. So
Oh,
yes, so
oh,
it's
that's
been
so
a long
lovely.
journey. It's been a
Uh-huh.
long journey with the Pillai family for me, especially through dance. But they've always been there as well for me in my personal life and my children's life as well. So we're very grateful to
Oh,
Hemaka and the rest of the family
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Ah, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
So
That's
going
lovely.
back to your original question about the choice, like
Choice.
I
Yeah.
said, I think that it was made by my parents, and I continued. I didn't have any reason to leave. I
Leave.
loved it so much, and I still do.
Yeah.
Um, and with times you change, and with your audience, as well as the environment we live in now. We live in a
Yeah.
country that's a little bit of a distance
Different
from home.
from
So
home. Yeah.
even our children here are exposed to other cultures, other disciplines, and particularly in the arts. So there is a bit more interest in semi-classical and cinematic
Yeah.
and Bollywood styles. So I teach that as well. So it
Yeah.
just depends on individuals' choices, what they'd like to
Yeah.
learn, and what kind of entertainment
I
they
know.
want to see as well.
Yeah. So I'm not sure at that time whether you had the other dance forms popular in Fiji at that time, like which is Kathak and Odissi, Mohiniyattam, Kuchipudi, like, these are the other dance forms. Were you familiar with those ones, or just Bharatnatyam was more popular?
To be honest, Indrani Amma was the only Bharatnatyam teacher at that
Wow.
time.
At that time.
I'm proud to say I was one of her first lot of students. So
Wow.
amongst my
Yeah.
other colleagues, I was one of her first students, and
Students.
who continued.
Yeah.
And the other art forms weren't as prevalent. Krishna continued, and the other art forms
Sorry,
weren't
sorry.
as prevalent. Krishna.
Sorry, that was my mobile. I touched it by mistake. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I thought I can hear myself. Technology, it happens. So
Technology.
as I
Yeah. Yeah.
was saying, and then like I mentioned, Hemaka came back from India as a graduate of dance, and she then used to perform Bharatnatyam as well as Kuchipudi and the various other forms. There
Forms.
were one or two Kathak dancers at that time. They were ladies originally from India who had learned
Right.
the art form there,
Right.
and
Yeah.
either had moved to Fiji through marriage or through other family relations,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as available to be taught or to be learned, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. You can start off your session, Kavita. I would love
Thank
to
you.
see your very first one.
Thank you.
Sorry, Kavita. I can't see you fully. Your Yeah. This is perfect. Yeah.
सिंहासनस्थायिने दुष्टपरब्रह्मक्रियाशालिने विष्णुप्रिये सर्वलोकप्रिये सर्वनामप्रिये धर्मसमरप्रिये हे ब्रह्मचारिणे दुष्कर्मवारिणे हे विलम्बितकेशपाशिने महिषमर्दनशील महिषगर्जनलोल भयजनर्दनकेलिके कालिके दुष्कमागम दुष्कमालिने
That was brilliant, Kavita. It's so beautiful and expressions were awesome. Wow. So the very first one, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guru is the creator, Guru is the preserver, Guru Devo Bhava, Guru Deva is the destroyer. It's Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all the trios there. And Guru is the absolute Lord himself, and salutations to that Sri Guru. In Sanskrit, the word Guru comprises of two roots. One is Gu and Ru. Gu means darkness and Ru means remover. Thus, Guru means the teacher who removes darkness and brings enlightenment. Mantra honors the Hindu deities Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are also seen as teachers. It is also used to honor and seek the support of spiritual gurus. In the yogic tradition, the relationship between the student and guru is given great importance. The mantra acknowledges the value of the guru's teachings in establishing a connection with divinity. It is actually a mantra that expresses gratitude for spiritual teachers as well as the guidance they give us for dispelling ignorance and achieving enlightenment and awakening. And it was a perfect tribute, and the song which you chose was Akhilandeshwari, Chamundeshwari, the 8 forms of Durga. And it's a perfect one. And it's a song from Telugu Saptapadi. And it was very well choreographed and, very well danced to. And this song praises the 4 different forms of the goddess Adi Parashakti, Parvati Devi, Mahalakshmi Devi, and Sharade Devi, which is Saraswati and Durga Devi. And beautifully sung by Shri S.P. Balasubramaniam, sir, I have to say late, and Srimati P. Sushila. And Miss Sabita Bhamidipati was on the screen, artist who performed to this song, which I haven't witnessed. I've got the source from you, Kavita. Thank you so much for doing that. And very well choreographed by your teacher, Mrs. Indraani Pillay. And it's also co-choreographed by Mrs. Hema Pillay as well. Beautifully done. And it's nothing but, glory to the Mother of the Universe, the ocean of mercy, and the Savior of the unfortunate. She holds a trident and protects and preserves all the 3 worlds. And glory to the Mother Sai of Bharti, which is, the divine Lakshmi. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what are we doing the next one, Kavita? What's your choice?
I think we'll go to Dhimtare. Would you like to introduce that one?
Yeah. So Dhimtare is the semi-classical kind of like, dance performance, which is a music and thal composition from the Hindi movie Takshak. The vocals are of Surjo Bhattacharya ji, and the music composer is none other than A.R. Rahman sir. On-screen artist was Tabu. I love Tabu. And the choreography is done by Kavita herself. And just a little bit about this movie song. It was in 1999, the Bollywood movie Takshak was released. And what stood out in an otherwise mediocre Bollywood product was a song, the Ray, composed by A.R. Rahman and penned down by Mehboob and Sukhwinder Singh. The song gained so much popularity that it became the most preferred song for performing a semi-classical dance. And it is 2022 this year, and I still see YouTubers performing to this song. I have seen so many songs on this one on YouTube. If you just put it on YouTube, you get heaps and heaps of those. And such has been the invisible contribution of Takshak in our own lives. This form of singing is known as tarana in classical music terminology. Do these words mean anything at all? Well, there are several theories regarding their origin, while a few believe that these are meaningless words which were used to imitate the sounds of percussion, string instruments while singing a raga. A few others claim that the roots of these words lie in Persian language, which has today lost its footprints in the sands of time. Tarana is believed to be invented by a famous Sufi musician and poet in the 14th century named Amir Khusro. He's also known as the father of Hindustani classical music because of his incredible creative contributions to this type of classical music. So Kavita is here to perform her Din Thare as the next item song for us, which is a semi-classical one. Here you go, Kavita. Off you take.
I'll just check the camera for you, if that's okay.
Okay, I'll just put you on the solos. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That was awesome. I'm not sure why it is called semi-classical. It's a full classical one.
I think the music lends to a little bit of it being
Yeah.
semi-classical, and it's a
Correct,
little bit
correct.
more,
Yeah.
it's not
You
in
want
the
to get
right
some water,
discipline.
Kavita?
I do, thank you.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Can you sing as well? No.
I'm not a singer.
But
I
can
love to
you?
provide chorus in a big crowd.
So since you have practiced those songs, like, can you kind of like, hum, and no, not hum, can you sing, like, in the sense, like, you're not comfortable singing, but are you okay with the lyrics and everything? Can you pronounce it?
Oh, yes. I suppose
Oh,
repetition you learn, and
yeah,
also when you're learning the dance, then
yeah,
you are taught. You're taught the talams and you're taught the lyrics. And this is probably where initially when you said in your introduction about the spirituality and the knowledge,
yeah.
when we learn the songs and we are taught the lyrics, we have to interpret it and we have to emote it. Because unless we
Correct,
understand, we cannot bring the right emotions to
correct.
screen.
So you have to know the background to what the lyrics mean so that you can
Exactly.
express yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it, isn't it?
Yes. And this, and particularly Bharatnatyam,
Yeah,
is so ingrained in our,
yeah,
religious background, into our heritage and
correct.
spirituality, the mantras and the Sanskrit language. This is where I came to be introduced to it, and I learned a lot of the mantras and the, stotrams and all that, and that has helped me personally in
Yeah.
my life. And
Oh,
knowing what I'm saying, it's not just by recital or by repetition or by
yeah.
repertoire that I'm saying those mantras. I actually know what it means.
What it means as well.
Because
Wow.
through our training, yes,
For your
Amma used to
training.
take the time to tell us what it actually means, and give us the background to it as well, the environment or where that story took place and who was doing what, and
What?
who was around
Yeah,
there, and the characters.
correct.
And so when I grew up, these gods and goddesses and their sons and their wives that we hear about were just characters in a story for me when I was a little girl, and they became
Wow.
very personal. So as I grew up, they were ingrained in my life. They were part of my
Right.
life. They weren't a statue that sits in a temple, or
Yeah.
somebody who lives in the skies or in the heavens. They were
Yeah.
people that were in my life. So that I'm very fond of that. I'm very grateful for that beginning to my life that I had.
That's wonderful. I'm glad that, they were able to, at that time, when the technology wasn't available, that they were able to relate to, what the song meant and, what the lyrics was and how you had to kind of like, express yourself. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed, like, that was done. In this day and age, it's very easy. Like, you can just pull out the lyrics, you can get the meanings out of it, you can do everything, but not in those days, isn't it?
Yes.
Because
Mrs.
technology
Indraani,
was,
late Mrs. Indraani Pillay was a multi-talented woman. She was trained in dance. She was Bharatnatyam. She was trained in musical
yeah,
instruments. She taught many, including her grandkids. She
yeah,
taught many to play the harmonium, the tabla as well. And she was a vocalist as well. So
Wow.
yes,
Oh,
she has
wow.
many students, and we've all moved
Does Hema
across the
Pillai
globe
also
now.
sing? Does
Sorry?
Hema Pillai also sing?
Absolutely. She's a gorgeous singer. Yes. Yes.
Amazed by their talents. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. So, apart from this, I know you're a consultant to the registered training organizations. Would you like to shed some light on it? I'm just giving you a break so that you can get to drink a little bit of water and do one more dance for me.
That's okay. Thank
A
you.
bit, a bit green in there.
Yes, so I am a consultant and I have been consulting for 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
I had a very rocky start. It was just months before COVID hit that I opened up my own business and consultancy.
Right.
However, the gods above, the gods here in my life, who are in my, embrace, they looked after me, or whose embrace I am in, I should say.
Yeah.
They looked after me, so I'm still standing strong. My start, I suppose, should go a little bit before the last 2 years. I used to be an auditor and a staff with the national regulator. So that's the
Okay.
Australian Skills Quality Authority.
So your
They are
background is finance, is it?
no, education standards, compliance auditing. Yes.
Okay.
So they're the ones that regulate registered training organizations. So I was an employee with them. And then since my resignation with the authority, I now consult to training organizations. So I get them ready for the audits that ASQA comes and does.
Right.
Yeah, so if you
So who are you
are
associated
with
with?
an organization,
Yeah, who are you associated with? Like, when you say registered training organizations.
sure.
So,
So
do
these are
you?
colleges. Many
Okay.
of you may know them as colleges or institutes who
Yeah.
offer tertiary programs. So after high school, so these are your
Yeah.
certificates, your diplomas, your advanced diploma programs. So colleges that are registered to deliver those qualifications. They're known as registered training organizations.
Oh, that's lovely. So,
Yeah.
ladies, if you're interested, so that's the where tap goes through. Approach her. She's easily contactable on Facebook Messenger, or perhaps you can ask me, and I would be able to direct you there. So you can do that if you're interested. Excellent. So that keeps you busy as well.
That keeps me quite busy. Just, I suppose, from this year, after COVID restrictions have been lifted, particularly international bans, and students are coming now and courses are
Coming now, yeah, it has started. Yes.
So my clients are happy. So they keep me happy by asking me to come in and do compliance work for them. So that's how the ball rolls.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have
So
to
it was a little
physically
bit quiet first 2 years,
Yeah,
but we get
It's
looked after. Yes.
it's picked up. Okay. So do you have to go physically to the universities or tertiary colleges or anywhere, or can you do it remotely?
I do go. I mean, the face-to-face interaction is always much better. And some colleges and some institutes are still, particularly old evidence student assessments and student records are not digitalized yet. It was a big learning curve for the colleges the last 2 years to quickly put everything digital, everything online. But some did it well, some not so well, so they're still getting support to do that. But I think the last 2 years have taught us that we don't need to necessarily be there. But I think on the large, a lot of people, particularly my clients, still like to have that face-to-face interaction. So since the restrictions have been lifted, I've been doing a lot more site visits now and meeting them in person than online work.
Okay. So you provide services throughout Australia, or just in particular just to New South Wales, or regions confined, or is it broader?
Not at all. Throughout Australia and offshore as well. I have a couple of clients who are based here. Obviously, they're Australian registered organizations, but they do offshore delivery. So yes, I do provide services offshore as well.
So it's both onshore and offshore. Excellent. So now moving on to the next dance style. What do you have for us?
The last one is a favorite of mine, whilst it's not my, my discipline, but it is always nice to do something different.
Yeah.
And I have put together, this is my collaboration, I've put together a mashup. It's a tribute to Lata Didi. So late Mrs. Lata Mangeshkar, and a lot of you would know some of these, and it's songs through her 50s, a pick of 50s, 60s, 70s, and the 80s song. So it's a mashup of that. And it's also a tribute to the on-screen actresses who were picturized in these songs. And yes, so it's Hindi songs, and it's a cut of a. For me, it was a journey of a young woman from her, adolescent days into young adulthood, losing her heart, falling in love, the 50s, 60s, 70s style. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it takes some of you down memory lane as well. But it doesn't matter. That is the thing with Lataji. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. Everybody has experienced her songs. And particularly me, I grew up listening to these songs on the radio in Fiji. I didn't know what these actresses looked like. I didn't know how these songs were picturized in the videos, in the movies, in the films. But we all, had a concept of our own. We had our own stories running in our head. Right. And I always saw these ladies, running through open fields and farms and like in very country style lehengas and blouses and very like rustic jewelry. And some of them were true and some of them were not. And I was surprised at the choreography on screen, thinking, wow, I never picturized this song this way. Today's choreography, it's very breezy, it's light, it's a little bit of my emotions. And I'm a romantic at heart.
So when did you end up seeing the real sequence of the songs?
Sorry?
So like you only picturized it when you were in Fiji, but when did you get to see all these songs, like, on the video or any kind of like,
actually, the songs that I have in this one, I probably didn't see them in Fiji. I think I saw them later in life. As a young mom, as an adult, when we were able to get VHS tapes and watch it at home. I grew up with two parents who were teachers, so we were very strict with our screen time. Actually, in my young days, I'd like to share, in my young days, we didn't have a TV growing up.
Yeah, even me too. We only got it in 80s. Yeah.
Yes. And then by the time we got a TV, we were very restricted with what we could watch, first of all, and when we could watch it. So term breaks, the longer school holidays were when we were allowed to watch some videos. And we would get them from the higher store, the VHS tapes. And Appa and Amma would watch it first, usually.
And then he would let you watch it.
And then we would be allowed to watch it. Or we might be able to
watch or not.
And they will forward the parts that we weren't supposed to see.
Oh dear, I can relate to. Yes. A little bit.
So it was probably later in life that I came to see these. And I'm still catching up with my black and white movies and the 60s and 70s. I still like them. I don't get as much time, but when I do, I like to watch an old Hindi movie. Yes.
Excellent. It's good to think about, like, what used to happen in those days, isn't it? Those days are still those days for us. It's still fresh in our memory.
And the lack of digital technology and so forth. And they used to do it all the hard way. The shots were the shots that they used to take, and they used to have to dance the sequences. There was no digital editing or anything like that. So hats off to those dancers and those actresses and the background dancers as well.
Yeah, true, very true. Nice. All right, off you start. I'm just eager to watch all the 80s, 50s, and 60s and 70s songs. I love those songs.
ये सफर है मुश्किल आने को है तूफान मेरे बचपन कहीं जाके छुप ना कानों से खींच के ये आंचल तोड़ के बंधन बांधी पायल कोई ना रोको दिल की उड़ान दिल वो चला आज फिर जीने की तमन्ना है आज फिर मरने का इरादा है आज फिर जीने की तमन्ना है आज फिर मरने का इरादा है रंगीला कैसा जादू किया तूने वो रंगीले कैसा जादू किया पिया पिया बोले मत वाला किया तूने वो रंगीले कैसा जादू किया पिया पिया बोले मत वाला किया बाहों में छुपा के ये क्या किया रे पिया तूने वो रंगीले कैसा जादू किया पिया पिया बोले मत वाला दिया घड़ी घड़ी मोरा दिल धड़के हाय धड़के क्यों धड़के आज मिलन के बेला में धड़के कंधरिया क्यों सड़के घड़ी घड़ी मोरा दिल धड़के हाय धड़के क्यों धड़के आज मिलन के बेला में धड़के कंधरिया क्यों सड़के होठों में ऐसी बात होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात जो दुहाई है दुहाई होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात जो दुहाई है दुहाई अरे हाँ बात जिसमें प्यार तो है जहर भी है हाय होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात जो दुहाई है दुहाई अच्छा तो हम चलते हैं
That was a perfect ending. I was thinking that you're going to perform for that song as well.
That's the surprise of it. Usually people think there's a bit more coming, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You
nice
know,
place to end it.
you're going to perform the song and then again say, Acha to hum chalte hain. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So it was the mashup of Lataji's old hits from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, as you mentioned, which was Jungly, Guide, Kudrat, Madhumati, and Jewel Thief. Wow. You did say that, you know, it brings kind of like, you know, the joyous journey about the heroines from childhood to, you know, the later stages in life. So, and now you're saying, Acha to chalte hai, nahi, ruk jao, abhi mat jao. No. Beautiful, beautiful. So, all these songs, I tell you, like, you know, Saira Banu, Wahida Rahman, And who was the other one? Hema Malini was in one
Hema
of those.
Malini,
Vaijayanti
yes.
Mala. Wow, wow. Tanuja also was there in Jewel Theme.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. There's so much to learn, and they were so beautiful. Vaijayanti Mala, talk of her, her beauty, her radiance. Wow, wow, it's never
The
ending.
dancing.
Yeah, dancing too. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the actresses of those days were trained dancers.
Yeah, very true.
And that was a plus point always, if they were a trained dancer.
Correct. And one thing about was Wahida Rahman in Guide, which you chose. It was conceived as an English language film before, and it was decided that it would be made in Hindi as well. And that's how they ended up making that movie there. So that's a little bit of snippet for that one there. And perfect. It was a perfect dance. Fusion of different songs there. The medley was so perfect, and you performed it so well. And obviously, I think this was the whole lot were choreographed by yourself.
The Lataji songs?
Yeah.
Yes, that was choreographed by myself.
Yeah.
That's just it's just how I feel inside that coming out.
Yeah. And because since you're a trained dancer, it comes to you naturally. If you ask me to do I have to go through a few times and then I have to portray that. But since you're trained, it comes to you naturally. It was so well done and
Yes.
beautiful.
I think you go through stages, and like with any skill sets, or even in our job, we have to do so many things. We're trained to do certain things, and then there are add-ons. And you come to a point where you find your niche. And I think now I love choreographing.
Wow.
More than anything else, I still love performing. I still love teaching. I love my students.
Yeah.
But I think that
have you completed your Arangetram as well?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So that was also part of your dance school. You should finish your Arangetram before you do stage performances and everything. So the concept was there.
The concept was always there, yes. However, I think when we were young and in Fiji, there was, not Indraani Amma was the only teacher at that time, and we were so few of her students. We would perform, but at very selected places, especially at the temples and arts festivals. And it would be very, restricted performances. But as we learned and as we became senior dancers with her, then she gave us a little bit more freedom to perform. Yeah. And I think with anything you earn that, particularly if you're in the entertainment industry, singers and musicians are the same. Your Guruji knows when to hold you back and when to let you go. And she's let me go, and then she's pulled me back at times as well. So, yes.
Okay.
When you're too young and too much freedom, you don't know what to do with it. So sometimes,
So she used to put a break there.
She used to put a break. And Hemaka is the same. She still does that to me. She has that authority still.
Does she still teach?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So Nritya Laya Liverpool was founded by late Mrs Indraani Pillay, Indraani Amma, and Hemaka has taken over the running of the school. So yes, they're still running classes. Hemaka also takes classes for senior ladies. A bit like a Bolly Fit type of, but again, she goes through what the group chooses, the songs and all of that. So they go through a lot of the old songs as well. They have fun, that group. Sometimes I like to go and join them. They have fun.
Really? That's nice.
There's any older ladies there. She runs them around 2 or 3 centers. So I'm sure there's one near you. If you get in touch with me or Hema Shetty, we can get you in touch with them.
Definitely, ladies. Definitely, if anyone is interested, you can either contact me or contact Kavita directly. She would be able to help. Excellent. Thank you so much, Kavita. We actually did quite well, 1 hour and 11 minutes, which we were thinking that, you were thinking that we wouldn't be able to prolong, but yes, we did. Like, it was a bit of chit chat, giving you a little bit of break, and also at the same time asking you to dance, which I'm a little bit greedy about. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I bumped into you in the month of December, was it?
Yes, it was the Christmas party.
Yes, I know. I
I
know.
saw
And then I
Peter
told
sitting on.
you.
Yes, it was an invite by her. Thank you.
Exactly. See, it happened. It happened. So thank you so much, for getting to know you as well as performing for my wholesome Wednesday session. It's a pleasure. It was really a pleasure to have you on my platform. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I did.
I did. Thank you very much. It was a wholly fulsome Wednesday for me.
Oh, excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm sure our audience would also have enjoyed. There were some comments. I will definitely attend to that. Or if there are anything, technical or anything, feel free to answer to those questions. Which obviously I don't think so. There would be any technical ones, but if there are any, please feel free. And pleasure to have you. And ladies, thank you very much for joining us. And we will be winding off the session and looking forward to have you all for the next session, which is next Wednesday, session number 98, which will be announced on Sunday at 10 a.m. So I look forward to having you all again, as well as meeting you all virtually next week. Till then, bye from both Kavita and myself. See you, ladies. Bye for
Good
now.
evening. Keep well, keep dancing.
Keep dancing. Yes. Thank you.